There's something about a post-apocalyptic world that just works in entertainment. Something about the terrifying reality sets a tone that never gets old in video games, and so the post-apocalyptic genre has been explored endlessly. Natural disasters, nuclear wars, zombie apocalypses, gamers love surviving in a world of the unknown. So it's no coincidence that several games have been turned into TV series, with the massive successes of The Last of Us and more recently the Fallout adaptation, plus a Gears of War show seemingly in the works. Why not take a look at some more games that would translate well to TV screens? With that, here are 8 post-apocalyptic games that should be made into TV shows. Let's go. We've seen plenty of virus outbreaks in TV shows and movies, but Tom Clancy's The Division would translate perfectly to the big screen, with Manhattan as its stunning backdrop. In the game, you're a sleeper agent who joins a New York task force called the Strategic Homeland Division, propelling criminal groups such as Rikers and Rioters, all while investigating the cause of the virus. Of course, fans of the game will remember that there were plans to make a movie adaptation starring Jake Gyllenhaal in 2021, but given the pandemic actively happening in the world at the time, they kind of felt it would be a bit too close to a documentary, and things were put on hold. With the dust settled, perhaps it would be time to put the Division movie back in the works. A game that hasn't had any movie rumors yet is Horizon Zero Dawn, but it doesn't need much explanation. Just imagine the fight scenes between Aloy and the robot creatures of post-apocalyptic United States. The game's world was one of the driving factors of its popularity, and the story is emotional, with Aloy discovering her origins while trying to save her homeland. Plus the sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, already provides more material for further installments. Moving on to zombies, it's Dead Island. There's no shortage of zombie shows and movies, but Dead Island could well provide a new tone to the genre. The game has 4 playable characters, a rapper, an American football player, a Hong Kong government spy, and an ex-police officer. With good casting choices, we could easily see the tropical island setting with a comedic tone succeed much like the Zombieland movies did. Plus, the modded melee weapons we see in-game would make for some pretty awesome fight scenes. Next up is Metro 2033, which itself is adapted from a novel. Set in Moscow after a devastating nuclear war, remaining survivors live in creepy underground tunnels and railroad systems known as the Metro. The game is eerie, so it would easily work for a tense show with horror elements. There was a movie in the works in 2019, but it fell apart as the Russian author was upset with the scriptwriter's Americanization of his story. It may be a pipe dream then, but we think the mutant creatures and dark setting would still make for a hell of a show. One game that fans have been petitioning to see on movie screens since its 2011 release is Rage. You play former US Marine Lieutenant Nicholas Rain trying to take down an organization named the Authority. The story and backdrop would probably lend themselves best to a show, and the character Dan Hagar was actually voiced by John Goodman in the game, so who knows? Maybe he could make a comeback. Next up, Destiny has all the makings of an epic TV show. It's set in a futuristic mythological world with guardians protecting Earth's last safe city from alien races. The game has such deep lore and, paired with the game's design, would easily translate to a really cool show. The game already has an array of stars that voiced in-game characters. Take Lenny James, Gina Torres, and Lauren Cohen, so the foundation's already there too. Plus, the name Destiny just has a great ring to it. Moving on to some good old-fashioned post-nuclear catastrophe bandit fighting, it's Far Cry New Dawn. The game is set in the same fictional town as Far Cry 5, Hope County, or what is left of it anyway. You're up against a bandit organization known as the Highwaymen 17 years after the nuclear event. Despite receiving mixed reviews compared to previous entries, Far Cry New Dawn could redeem itself in fans' hearts as a TV show. The colorful art style and wacky characters would actually make for a really great setting if handled right. Finally, we've got Wasteland. The game was released in 1988, so the visuals would need quite a lot of reimagining, but the storyline and setting are enough to make us think it would be great. Humans versus cyborgs in a post-nuclear world? What more do you need? Set in 2087, a small force called the Desert Rangers protects the southwestern area of the United States, and the world has a lot of underlying secrets that could change the world as everyone knows. It's so gripping, in fact, that Wasteland was the inspiration for the Fallout series. So why not make a movie or show out of this one too? Are there any other post-apocalyptic games you'd like to see as a TV show? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to check out thegamer.com for all your gaming needs.